Yeah, it's going. Right, we are live.
Hello.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our regular Sunday hangout. If you're new, should still start again.
Rewind.
You don't need to be nervous. Hang on, I'll get that right. If you're new, we are Nick and
Andrea,
and we are resellers, and this is our channel all about how we earn a living, what we do day in, day out, which is selling all of this quality merchandise that you see in my office. And the Sunday shows, normally it's a haul or something like that, but breaking with tradition, we've got some guests on.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a chat last week, so we're delaying it and having it now.
Yeah, something like that. So do you want to say hi, guys, and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Zaheer. This is my wife Rebecca, and we resell as well. We kind of got into this many years ago when I started watching.
You started.
Well, when I started about 3 or 4 years, 5 years now. I don't know.
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years ago, watching Nick's videos. We used to live in southeast London, and I watched Nick's videos, and I was like, wow, this guy is making money selling stuff on eBay, and he doesn't have to go and have a job. And that was kind of like the start of just jumping into it. And yeah, it's been crazy, really.
Isn't it mad that it's nearly 5 years since?
It must be 5 years, mustn't it? 4
Yeah,
5
I think so, because I think we've been making videos now for almost exactly 5 years. And we started chatting soon after I made videos.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's been it's been a crazy adventure.
And I know many of you guys watching now will know Zaheer and Bec from when they've been on this channel, and we've been on their channel, and we've been to visit, and we've had days out and stuff. But a lot of you guys are new, so you may not be aware that Zaheer and Bec have a YouTube channel, which I knew I'd forget something. I haven't linked below, but you can just type in Zaheer Malik and it will come straight up. But I'll put it in after.
If anyone fancies just popping it in the chat.
Yeah, one of our helpful subscribers, just pop it in the side chat for us, and you can go through and link it. Cool. So I thought we'd have a catch up because we haven't had a chat for a while, and there's been big changes. Do you want to let people know what the big change was recently for you guys?
Yeah, there's been a couple of changes recently in a way. I'd say like the three major changes, just to fill anyone in that's unaware of this, is obviously first we moved up the country. We are originally from the southeast of England, and because of this reselling stuff,
I thought it was a good idea to
help afford the change. So, and we now live in the northwest of England, and that was mainly a decision to kind of reduce our costs to allow us to follow this, because Bec was working a full-time job down south, and we thought if we moved up here we could both resell together like a happy couple up north with the reduced rent. It didn't quite work out. So last year, Bec had to go back to full-time work, which has been a bit of a blow. But more excitingly, recently, it's allowed us to get our own office space, which is why we've got like an empty conservatory, which
behind us.
Yeah.
This is where we used to operate.
So, that room used to be pretty much filled with stock and processing table and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So has that been a fantastic positive change, or how are you looking at it?
I think it's been a really positive change. I like it for the fact that I get my house back, which I feel is very important. I've got stock everywhere, which is good. I'm enjoying the house more, and I'm enjoying like our time away from the office as well. So we really do have like more of a structure to our work day. But then when we come home, we know it's time to chill out and relax. So that's what I like it for. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, because we were paying like really high rent down south, weren't we? Like we were paying, I think it was like £1,350 a month to rent our house.
Wow.
And that's like, we had no parking. People used to come over and dump their rubbish in your bins because the rubbish collection wouldn't come. So it wasn't great, but it was, that's normal prices in southeast London. And we lived in Croydon, lovely area called Thornton Heath, by the way. But
great place.
We moved up here to reduce the rent, and with this office, it's now got us to the point where it's still cheaper, but we're already now every month we've got to pay our rent on this place and the rent for the office. So we're back up there now. I think we're around £1,200 odd a month we've got to come up with before we've done anything. So that's a bitter pill. But the plus side is that it's definitely made all the changes that Bec said, but work-wise, it's really helped. It's helped me focus a lot more. Storage, I mean, you're gonna have to pay 100-200 quid for storage alone, aren't you? So considering we've got like an all-inclusive, all electricity, internet, lights, gas, whatever, paid for office, I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, because we had an office at one point and we didn't have any of that paid for, so it was all extra costs on top, wasn't it? So there was like rent and then
internet.
We had all the amenities and everything.
So you basically end up with double your utility, doubling up, and
because then you'd have to, because we still worked at home and used broadband at home, so you were paying 2 lots of broadband, and it was like
I'm trying to remember. I think there was a definite positive when we had the little warehouse and office space thing for us, but I don't know. Would you prefer it going back to that?
I prefer it now.
You prefer this?
Yeah.
I have what you touched on there, the kind of separation thing, that being a positive. I get that, and I struggle with having this right. I mean, through there is our living room, basically. And it's like, it's so easy to just come in here and potter around, and I'll do that in the evening, won't I?
All the time.
And so that, the lines between work and life are so blurred for us.
Yeah.
But financially, this is huge compared to what we used to pay out. But it is a benefit having that detachment, certainly.
I think that it also depends on the kind of person you are as well. Like I've always tried to not work, even when I was working. So I look to procrastinate. That's just who I am, like habit wise. Like, and you found it.
Me, like I when I was in like an employed job down south, I worked very, very hard. I'd done a lot of hours.
And you do the same now.
And we thought that would translate when I came into like
working
the
at
reselling.
home.
And it just didn't. I was always finding something around the house to do. I was terrible at working from home.
I thought you were the one that was on it and getting all the listings up. I thought
I could sit down when I sat down to do the listings. I could really do the listings.
But getting her to sit down,
getting me to sit down in the first place to do the listing.
That is half the battle, isn't it? Starting work for me is tricky, but once I'm going, I'm there.
But that's the thing, though. It's like she's gone. Obviously, you've gone back to work up here, and again, those work ethic things have returned, haven't they? So you're working hard at work again.
Yeah.
But like, if you can't work at home, then I really did. You can understand my issues, because I used to manage to not work when I was out at work. I remember once, and I still remember it. I used to work as a rep for Nestle, and I once fell asleep in the car, like when I should have been doing calls, and I think I must have been like dribbling or something, and this poor mum was pushing a little baby down, and she knocked on my window to see if I was alive. I was like,
you're like, no, I'm working, I'm fine.
Don't worry, this is okay. And then I'd just input a call or something to pretend I'd been in the shop. And that's how I was like. I'm a bad employee, so don't employ me. But like at the office, it's really helped me. And because at home it's difficult. And now I get to kind of like, this space, it's really weird, because you say that, you've got your house back. I've kind of commandeered this anyway.
No. It's fine.
I'm just gonna have all my PC stuff and my
coffee machine's going there somewhere.
I thought that was going to be a family space.
It was toys in there now.
Who's claimed it now?
It was. Your family can still come in and enjoy the PC and stuff.
Just don't sit on the PC chair.
Or
even touch the PC.
Just can look at it.
I just realised we didn't say hello to. We are live, so if you are watching us live, please pop in and say hello. We've rudely ignored you so far.
I was just going to read out John Shields' question, but it's basically answered. He said, "Would it not be better to rent a bigger house?" But you've basically answered that, because it's more about the separation, and that's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I think when you work for yourself, or when you start working from home or you try to run a business, it teaches you like a lot about yourself, and some of it you're not going to like.
Yeah,
I think it's you really do. It's weird, and I think it's just recognizing what kind of person you are. Like some people are great at working from home. They probably work more productive in a comfortable home environment than they would be in a separate office environment, but then there are other people that aren't, and I think we definitely work better. I mean, even now, even though Bec works full time, there's certain days where she finishes early, so like on the Tuesdays or whatever, she'll actually finish work and then come to the office and still find the energy to work. Whereas at home, she used to finish early and be like, okay, the plan would always be, oh, well, when I come home, I can do some work. But you come home from your job and say you've had a bad time or whatever. Did you?
Yeah, the amount of times that I didn't get work done on that Tuesday, but now I do, because I finish work on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We go to the office. We're at the office by about 1:30. I have a quick lunch, and then I'm straight working through till about 5:30 in the evening. And then we go home.
And that's like a world of difference, isn't it? And it makes you feel good.
I think when you have a kind of regular 9 to 5, like your job, for example, Bec, you mentally have a switch when you come home, and it's that, I've finished. So then to go and pick up the reins on eBay and start listing, that's such a rent. But going to the office, you're still in work mode, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have that switch off and relax.
Straight in a uniform.
Yeah, straight in my uniform. It actually looks like he makes me go to the office in a uniform.
And then like, my employee.
I remember you saying when you first got the office, one of those early videos, you were saying that you're there with other professional people in the block, and that makes a difference. So you feel like you're going to work where other people are doing professional things. And
well, it's funny you said that, because there's something happened recently where I was actually at home waiting for a delivery. Was it a delivery? Yeah. I was waiting for
a collection, because
I was waiting for something. I was waiting for either a collection or a delivery, and it meant that I didn't actually go into the office for the whole day. I was only able to go in there at like 3:30, but I went in at 3:30 to just get all shipping and all that kind of stuff done, and I was only there for like an hour. And when I went in, the guy just made a comment. He wasn't like a dig or anything. It was just like, short day today. And he didn't mean anything by it, but you feel like, it was. But I'm going to be
I'm going to be working tomorrow.
It keeps you real. It keeps you, and also like when you're the last one there, you're like, you're going now, are you? Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still. It's silly because we've got nothing to do with each other. We don't affect.
Have you got to know the other like occupants of the block, or do they know what you do? And is that?
It's kind of hard to hide though.
It is really hard to hide because we do have like a glass door.
And we've got a guy across from us, and
he can see into our office.
I think he does like recruitment, and he's a lovely guy.
A couple of ladies upstairs, and they do recruitment as well.
So
I was going to ask, have they inquired about it? Are they fascinated, or are they just sort of wondering?
Perplexed.
More like, how does it work?
Like really? Like
really?
Oh, okay. All right then. And they go back. Look more like, okay, it's a bit. I try to make it seem professional by saying, yes, mostly RC stuff. I'm in the R, but then there's like some skis and like a sewing machine.
Oh, we've got drums as well.
We've got drums.
We've got the drums in there at the moment.
And then it doesn't look so professional.
No.
It's really hard to not look like Del Boy doing this. Our neighbours don't. A couple of them we've spoken to, but they see us bringing in carloads of anything. What we pick up. And I think they all just, and they can see in this office, as you know, faces out to the road, and they can see him with all these shelves, and they think.
I went to pick up a parcel recently, and our neighbour a few doors down said, how's it all going? Because he used to come into our shop when we had our game shop, and he said, how's it all going? And he said, what are you selling now? Because got a lot of board games, haven't you?
He's stuck in front of the window. It's about 6 foot tall sometimes, and you can see it. But I don't know what they think half the time. Those that don't know what we do, we just must look like hoarders. I was going to say before, and I got distracted. I was going to scroll back and see who was first in, but I can't get back there now. So I'll quickly say a few hellos. Jesse, the reseller's in. Karin, George Ross, welcome. Husky Steve. Peter Ray is in. I was watching Peter earlier.
Adrian's in.
Let's see if we can find any questions. If you do have any questions, please pop them in. I can't guarantee I'll find them, but we'll have a go.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly, guys, right? It's been a while since we've been on Nick and Andrea's chat, and it's obviously blown up massively since. And to anyone that says, oh, you know, they didn't answer my question or whatever, honestly, it's almost impossible to pick anything. It really does. There's so much chat that you just... Yeah, you shut off.
It's tricky. It does a bit tricky. Yeah.
Well, having a conversation. It's okay.
Yeah. So as I say, put question beforehand, then it does stand out.
Yeah, I'll try and pick out a few while I get back to the end. Okay.
So Bec, the plan was at one point that you would eventually go back and do, do eBay full time with Zaheer. Is that still the plan, or?
Yeah, that's still the plan. We've got a long way to go to get back to working together. But yeah, that is the end plan, isn't it? For us to both be working again on eBay, but hopefully not just eBay.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. There's a question I've just spotted from Tank H. My partner Hannah says, what do you do with excess stuff you can't sell? So what's your method of kind of dead stock clearance?
Either redonate or we stick it through an auction, which doesn't go too well when it's RC parts. I don't know whether I mentioned it on, we didn't mention it on Friday, actually.
It's tough because, it's tough. I mean, we recently auctioned off some RC parts that individually you could have over time sold for a fair amount of money. It was like 40 parts. The whole lot sold for like £1 something plus shipping. I mean, it was crazy. Thing is, we've got so much that we kind of
it was stuff that we couldn't be bothered to deal with, so that's why it went. But
it was new parts. It was they weren't the only reason we auctioned them. They didn't have their little tags on the packets. They had the model number, so whoever buys them can still find what they are
and research them. What they are.
But because they didn't have the tags, it's not that we've got a shortage of them. We thought we'll stick them at auction. We'll still make about maybe 30, 40 quid. You know, even if we get 50 pence a packet, we'll make 20 quid, 40 parts. Didn't even get that, got like a quid plus shipping.
Yeah, I suppose it's not an ideal thing to auction because it's so specialist, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, an actual RC, a person that's into it, they're not going to want all of those parts. So you're only really selling to another RC dealer, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping. But we only found the one that gets...
The one to pay £1 something for it.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, going back to the question, you've probably seen a recent video we did. We went to a boot sale and cleared out a load of junk, and we priced to sell. We had a number of comments on that video saying, "You're selling this stuff too cheap. How are you making money?"
That's the point. We just wanted to.
Just get rid of it. It didn't owe us anything. It was stuff that was dead to us.
Most of it, if it doesn't sell, is just going to charity.
Yeah. But we blew out a load of stuff and came home with a couple hundred quid or something, and that's ideal. And we're going to do another one soon. So that's what we tend to do, or we just donate it back to charity, like you guys mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of, I think, especially again, since we're starting to pay for our space as well, it's made us much more aware compared to where we were before. I think this is something that you should look out for, especially if you're keeping your stock at home, because it's at home, you're not paying to store it. It's all too easy to hold on to it for longer, and I think you've got to really keep an eye on that. But since we've been at the office and we've got a limited amount of space, we're paying for that space, we really look for the items to earn their spot, as it were, and not hang around for too much. And especially on the general store, we like the RC store, we know stuff.
Yeah, we have to sit and wait with the RC store. We can't. There's no like, you know,
as we found,
hurrying up sales
really
or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of let it sell when it's going to sell. But with the general store, we are a lot more like, we try and get on it a little bit more. Don't we?
Like if something hasn't sold, we've been using offers to watches. We use the markdown manager sale as a thing as well, with the strike through discount. And we actively look to move stuff that hasn't moved. And then if it doesn't, like you said, if it gets to the stage where we're car booting it, that stuff's getting sold cheap because
Have you had much joy with the offers to watches?
Not a great deal. Sometimes it kind of gets people to kind of come back at us with an offer, but sending offers out, not necessarily people accepting them. We've had a couple that have come back to us and offered us a couple of pound lower, and then we've gone, yeah, all right, then we'll sell it for that price. But yeah, initially not.
And maybe it's that conspiracy theory thing again, but sometimes we've sent offers out. Say an item's 50 quid, we might have sent an offer out for 35, no one's bitten, and then the next day or the next couple of days someone actually makes a higher offer or just buys the item. So I don't know whether it boosts the item if you send one out or what, I don't know, but yeah,
I'm really enjoying that still. The numbers of kind of bites we get on offers have dwindled. When we started it, we were getting loads, weren't we?
I do it every day now. Just whatever is eligible, I just send an offer out. But we don't get many people.
I really think buyers are getting fed up with all these offers coming at them on random stuff. But somebody quickly asked you, Andrea, about Vinted. Do you sell much on Vinted?
Well, I have to be honest and say that I haven't put much time into it, so I don't really have a lot listed on there. I've had a couple of sales on there, so no, I wouldn't say don't get a good income from it, but I do want to give more time to it and give it a go. I just haven't done it.
And Aman Naji, sorry if I've mispronounced your name, says they want tips for someone that wants to start what you guys are doing. So a tip each. What would you suggest? Somebody who's going to take the plunge as you two did a while back. Looking back, what would your one tip be?
Go on, you go first.
Plan.
Just
plan it more than we did.
So we're like a cautionary tale. I mean, I think I definitely have. We were talking about this actually, that you've got to have some kind of an idea of what you're trying to achieve. So have a number in your head from day one on what you're hoping to make, and then break it down like weekly or whatever
into like smaller goals. And also just keep reassessing what you're doing, keep looking at what you're doing, because if something changes, you want to be quick on it to be able to change it before it kind of gets to the point
it's a surprisingly fast moving type of business to be in, isn't it? Because people's what people want to buy changes so often. Like things that were like fashionable or just in demand suddenly can not be that way, and then you know it's just because I think it's because it's like secondhand stuff or clearance stuff that we all deal in. It's easy to be like, oh, okay, you just stick it up and there's a buyer for everything, but it really does change, and I think it does help to keep an eye on stuff, and we found that the hard way a lot of times, but you learn.
Absolutely.
What would you say if you had one tip to someone who's just about to start reselling? One nugget of info.
Putting me on the spot now. I don't know.
I'd say it's kind of following on from what Zaheer was just saying. Be prepared to change what you do on a regular basis. Not be scared to try different things and drop things that aren't working.
And don't follow blindly. I mean, I say this often, but don't follow blindly and do your own research. Make it work for you and customize it to you and your lifestyle. Don't just do what someone else is doing and think it will work, because what works for one person doesn't work for another.
Well, you just have to look around the reseller channels. We all do it very differently when you break it down, but we're all hopefully getting the same net result, which is we're making money. But I think we all tailor this to ourselves. Definitely.
I just wanted to say that Karen said that, Bec, we'd love to see you on the Seller Ladies panel again.
That's a difficult one for me though, because my timing's on a Friday.
The one time you were on, how comes you were off?
I booked a week off holiday.
Oh, okay, you were on holiday.
I was on holiday.
Well, if you ever do that again, just message us. And
we'll do.
Anthony there says, question, new to reselling, eBay have today capped my listings limit to 10 items. Any advice, please? I would say give them a call. Sometimes they can change limits if you explain the reasons behind why you want it upped. Have a conversation with them. They can be amenable. Give it a go. Question, Nick, did the guy from your video yesterday send the board game back? Not yet. Just hoping. I don't know if you saw that. I sent the wrong item out.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So annoyed with myself. It was a very similar item. I wasn't that stupid, but I was still pretty stupid. So I've just sent him a return Hermes label. I just bought a Hermes label and said, can you just put that on the other one and send it back? But there's a lot of trust involved there. And the game I sent him was worth a lot more than the one I was meant to send him.
Yeah, you did offer for him.
Yeah, I said, keep the other one if you like. He says, no, I want the whatever one. Whack-a-mole rather than whack-attack. Whatever. So annoyed at that. Okay, let's scroll down. I'm probably miles behind. I'm trying to catch up with questions.
Did you not just miss a question?
Probably.
Oh, we've missed a couple.
Oh, it's just jumped. No idea.
Yeah, you've missed a couple of questions, I think.
There's a good one there. That might be interesting to discuss. Sorex says, question, should you specialize in what you sell? Now, you guys have had experience in both specializing and not. So where are you on the fence?
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a good question, actually, because one of our stores is very specialized. It's selling RC parts. And the other one of our stores is like more of a general store, which we've only just started kind of like doing again this year.
Which tells you what we think.
So
what are the pros and cons, and why split them as well? Do you explain why you've chosen that, and what are the benefits of the two stores?
Do you want to explain that? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the RC store was our original store where we used to sell everything on it, like from hi-fi to retro to whatever, and whatever we pick up at the car booths. But then a couple of years ago, we ended up with a massive amount of radio control parts, and it swamped the store. And we've been selling that stuff ever since and buying more of it ever since. And looking to the future, I think I wanted to have like a store which was looking a bit more like an RC store. And like if I was to in the future ever approach like distributors and stuff, I want to be able to kind of show them what I'm selling or like how much I'm selling. And obviously they can't go onto my store and then see, oh yeah, okay, this guy is serious about selling RC stuff, and then find a bunch of clothes or find a bunch of shoes, or it
right. I get
that reason, because if you're approaching wholesalers and stuff, you've got to look half respectable at least. So there was that thought in our mind, and because it gave us more return customers than we've ever had, and I think it just tells people what it is. But the downside is it has its slow times, and this time of year for RC parts, I did see someone ask what RC parts is. It's remote control. So it's remote control parts. So either cars, helicopters. Mostly cars and helicopters. But this is our slow time of year. And so we have to kind of prepare for that, and that's why we started the general store again. And the general store has been really good. I mean, it like, just to give you guys an idea, I think like this week it crushed the RC store completely. Like if we didn't have it, we would have had an awful week. I think we did about £400 in sales of RC parts on a store with about 1,600 items, and we did like 800 and something quid on the store with 200 items. Wow. So it's just like,
going back to the original question, you've kind of learned that you want to have the best of both worlds.
Pretty much.
I think you can't be afraid to like learn your lessons. I mean, I think in the past we definitely wanted to niche down completely. It cost us. Doing that, it cost us. It did.
So you've got to keep your options open, really.
I think so. And that's, in a longer term or sense of time with us, that's exactly what we've kind of gone around in circles on this and tried to specialize, and then realized it doesn't really work
obviously
for us.
For a long time specialized in media, because
with
we
the
had the
high
shop,
street shop,
and then we were selling online as well.
Well, I think for me, the main benefit of being a generalist, again, going back to that question, is that I can jump on any deal and make money on it, no matter kind of what it is. Like today, for example, I bought a stack of Star Trek puzzles for no good reason other than I think I can make money on them. But, if I was just doing Lego or clothing, I wouldn't have a way of turning, or, I'd leave them behind.
I mean, we've talked in the past about splitting the stores and maybe putting clothing and that sort of thing on a different store, but I don't know. We just decided.
Well, we did have 2 for a while.
Well, only when I had the shop, but
yeah,
we just decided we'd stick it all in one.
We just got it all on one.
I had a lovely thank you card from a lady that actually bought 2 things, and she returned one because it didn't fit. And when she returned it, she sent me a really nice little thank you card saying, I really love the thing that I've kept, and I'm sorry to have to return this to you. She said, I've had a good look in your store. It's very eclectic, isn't it?
Eclectic. That's the word.
That's the one.
That's the word, isn't it? Yeah. Eclectic. Yeah.
I think when people look at our shop, they get a bit confused.
Yeah, it's what it is.
It really does make sense though, because it's such a great example of making the most of what's around you. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, you do have to be, it keeps you sharp, really keeps you going, and I think doing one thing as well can take your love out of it a little bit. Like, if you're just doing one thing, I mean, Becs never really loved the radio control, just did it, but like, I enjoy it as a hobby as well, and it's nice to also now like, it's worked out in a funny way that Bec's been doing a lot more of the actual listing of that stuff, and I've been doing more of the listing on the general store because it's
kind of reversed a lot this year. Just purely on what we needed really to work for us. So
cool.
So are you guys doing more clothing now? Well, not more clothing, but are you doing clothing?
You are.
I've started to dabble, Andrea. Started to dabble.
Mainly men's clothes though.
But I stick to men's clothes. I'm not comfortable.
Ventured into the ladies' clothing.
I tend to go to, like, those Barnardo's donation centres where they just put like clothes in bins and things. I just feel awkward just rummaging like that through like women's clothes. I just feel awkward. So mainly men's clothes.
We haven't found one of those. Apparently there's one in Milton Keynes, isn't there?
They can be worth going to. There's a lot of people that obviously do go to them because they're
it's very American, isn't it, going to the bins?
Going to the bins. But you do find some things. I found a maggot once. So because if they get left out and it rains, all it takes, so you've got to have be aware. Just be aware. They are the bins. They just dump clothes in, and God knows what's in them. So
Goodness.
Right, I'm nearly at the end. I'm trying to pick out questions if there are any. There's loads of chat going on. I think I don't know if I missed any.
I think we've missed loads, to be fair.
Right, I'm at the bottom now, so put your question.
I'll have a look.
There's one question. When does it become worth having an account with Royal Mail? Give them a call and explain to them the sort of numbers you're doing, and I think they'll talk you through what account would make sense for you.
And Steve wants to know, how much did you get for the magnet?
I left it and I didn't go back for a few days until
you got past it.
Until I got past it. I just left it there.
Cool. So are you guys going out sourcing regularly now? I mean, how are you factoring that into your day? Or are you regularly sourcing? How's it working?
It's really difficult because
it has been difficult.
Last 3 weeks have pretty much been rained. Well, last 2 weeks our car boots have been rained off. They were back today and we didn't find any. It was one of those, they were back, but I think a lot of people weren't expecting them to be back because of the weather.
Because it was just so quiet at the car boot today.
And it was just lots of dealers and we didn't find much. But I tend to like have a look around the shops when I'm dropping Rebecca off at work and things like that. So
and our local high street is normally pretty good as well. So hopefully you do still pop into them.
I do pop into those. Well, I mean, the camcorder we sold today, we sold a camcorder today. That was from the local high street. But luckily, because it's, I don't like to say like, we need it.
No, we absolutely
need it. But luckily it's not like the only store. So sometimes,
Yeah, but you still need to go out and buy stock. Right?
Oh, I do, don't I?
Yeah.
But we're just being picky with it.
Yeah, we ended up charity shopping today. That's where all those puzzles came from, weirdly enough.
Yeah, all from one charity shop.
Yeah, they were down to 50p each, all brand new and sealed. They clearly had a big donation from a stock, from a shop or something. Yeah. So I bought a lot. There's not much in them, but it's one listing, about a tenner each, and they'll, why not?
And I bought a Kardashian collection dress.
Oh, very fun.
Standards, but
well, it'll be in demand, won't it?
What would that sell for? Did you say? I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember offhand. I know there was a fair amount of profit in it.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't bother getting up to go boot sailing because we were away at my sister's at the weekend.
Yeah, we didn't get home
till
nearly midnight. We were shattered.
But we couldn't resist it. We went out charity shopping.
Had to get something. But I think that's the other thing. Like, you really do have to be aware of your area, because they are. I would have loved to have thought that, you know what, it's the same everywhere, but I don't feel it is. I think you've got to be aware. Like, for example, if you live in an area where there's a lot of rain, you have to accept that your car boots are going to be less, frequent or more sporadic. So things like that you have to be aware of, and then you've got to look at other sources like charity shops and depending on where you live.
Definitely.
So I've got a question, because we can see him wandering around. How's Alfie?
Oh,
he's fine. He's fine.
He's
just chilling.
He's put on loads of weight though, hasn't he?
Do you want to jump up some? Do you want to jump up?
You put on loads of weight.
No, we've not been going out as much with him, to be honest. Since work and everything.
The girls keep giving him like treats.
Yeah, so it's
double whammy. Less exercise, more food. Yeah,
it's the treats. So
he's gonna bang your head if you go that way.
He's gonna try to come up now.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's been good. He's walking with us.
How's he adjusting to being on his own most of the day?
I can't see him really.
Oh, he does really well, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he does really, really well. We were really concerned about getting the office and then leaving him at home, but he has been fantastic. The girls come in at about 3 o'clock, don't they? And they then they're with him from then. But so, he's and
I can always pop in if like I'm worried or something. But he seems to have handled it pretty well.
Was there not an option to take him with you? Because we used to take Monty to when we had a separate office. We used to take him with us.
Yeah, I don't think it would be right for the office. Like, it's not that kind of place. But just as in like, I don't think they'd allow pets.
Yeah, we were fairly self-contained.
Yeah, ours was a self-contained unit, so we could kind of.
That's different.
So we've got communal.
That kind of
yeah. A couple of questions I can answer quickly. John asked, when you had your game store, did you sell new games? We did new games, chart, and we did used. Most of our money came from the used stuff, but we did new DVDs and new CDs and everything.
New and used CDs
do you use Royal Mail or Click and Drop? We use Royal Mail, Click and Drop, which it is by Royal Mail. Talking of shipping, how do you ship your stuff?
Most of it is you can see him now. Yeah. Say hello. Okay.
Hi, Alfie.
Most of the stuff we ship is just large letter, like the vast majority of the radio control stuff. And out of laziness, like if we sell other items, as long as they're small parcel size, we send them through with Royal Mail as well. We do use Hermes when we have to, or we do use UPS when we have to.
Yeah, and we do. Yeah, the bigger items if we do have to book a collection.
UPS, DPD. Just we go with whoever offers the best price, really. So whoever's offering the best price and service to an extent, depending on the value of the stuff, because. Like, especially if you're sending something expensive, it's nice if you send something by Royal Mail, because if they can't deliver it, they can go to the local post office and pick it up. Like.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Can you find it?
I'm scrolling backwards because I thought
I think we're back to where we were now.
Oh yeah, I am. Okay.
I think Saz guest Sarah had a question which I saw, but you scroll past it now.
Oh, I'll try and find it. Hold on.
Oh, I was just saying, questions. Zaheer and Bec, did you know there's no more Peace Pottage car boot? It's a building site now.
No way. That used to be like one of our favourites when we were down south.
Yeah, we used to do that one, and Sayers Common, and then Rusper Village.
Within an area. Peace Pottage was one of them. Wow.
The other two must be heaving now.
Yeah, they must be.
Debbie Young asks, are there any countries where you won't send? Not really. No.
No, we send anywhere now, but if we do our own international, we send it tracked as a matter of course. I think you send a lot of your smaller RC stuff just regular international, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
We send it standard. Just again, it's like you look at what other people are doing. We look at what the competition's doing. So you can't be more expensive. So say if you're selling a part for like a £5, you can't really charge £8 if your competition's only charging, like £3 or £4. So
yeah. Going back to talking about the Bernardo's donation centre, Karen asks, what are they worth it, and what's the pricing system?
Definitely worth it.
They are
definitely worth it, especially if you're inexperienced. I think if you're a beginner like me, when it comes to clothes, they tend to be either like £1.50 or £2 an item, so it's cheap. So you can learn for cheap basically, because as we all know, charity shop prices are much higher.
Anthony, who you mentioned earlier about had a selling limit on his account, he said, I just spoke to eBay. I'm not available for a selling increase until 7th of July. So everything I bought today at the boot sale will have to wait until next month. Well, at least you'll get that increase fairly soon. So that's good.
I mean, they tend to do that with new accounts, don't they?
Yeah, they restrict new accounts to stop somebody coming on and selling a load of stuff they don't actually have, taking the money and running.
Yeah.
Because they don't let you take PayPal money out until a certain amount of transactions have gone through, I believe. I don't know. We never experienced that because our PayPal account is like donkey's years old. But yeah.
Krillin super chatted.
Yeah, I was just coming back to that. Hi, Rob. What's Rob said? Zaheer, what do you call that back room you are in?
Conservatory.
Conservatory or a man cave.
Yeah. It's going to be a coffee and computer room now.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Rob. I always appreciate it. Rob went to see I was chatting to Howard Jones the other day. Yeah,
cool.
We do
one
like
of my favorite artists.
Yeah. Right, where was I? There were questions. I did that.
There was one about where was that? There. When you're scanning, what process do you go through to determine it being a goer or not? Well, I don't know, I'm guessing talking about Amazon, maybe?
If you're talking about scanning using the Amazon app, it comes down to price, pretty much. I think all things come down to price when you're buying.
Rank, if it's Amazon, FBA, you're looking at rank.
Ranking. Yeah. I mean, what's your thought process when you're picking up something in the wild? Do you look stuff up, actually? It's a good question.
I tend to because why wouldn't you? It's the text there, the connections are there, so it's and
I don't always. I feel a bit nervous getting my phone out and having a quick look if I'm in a charity shop or at a car boot. Yeah. But he's got this thing where he'll kind of walk away slowly, get his phone out, do a quick research, then quickly turn back and go get it.
I do exactly that. Today I was looking up a couple of dresses. I have a look at it and then I like move away and pretend I'm looking at something else and checking my phone at the same time.
I don't put the item down now. I've been caught out with put it down, walk away, have a look, come back. Jeez, where's it gone?
Yeah.
So get it in your hand, I would say. Definitely a car boot.
Car boot is very different. Car boot, charity shops, but you're right, even in the charity shop, you never know. But car boot wise, I think in a way it's like easier now because we're trying to aim for like a smaller store because we can't really afford to have a really big store for the second store. So like our average selling price, for example, last week was £50 an item. So we're really aiming to go for like that. We're trying to get back more into the electricals and things, and I'm pretty comfortable with that stuff now. I don't worry so much.
Are you still doing Amazon?
I wish.
No, we barely.
Yeah, I think they changed. Didn't they change what they show you, like the keeper and stuff? They don't show you the sales rank or something.
Camel certainly has changed, and keepers you have to pay.
Yeah,
you have to pay.
Really
but yeah, I'm just I'm doing the same as I ever did, but with a bit less information on sales history to go on. But yeah,
my reason is just the usual, Nick. I just can't do it.
But I think there's only so much time you have as well. I mean, like with the question I had about Vinted earlier, I really want to cross list a bit more, but it's finding that time, isn't it? Because you end up putting all of your energy into one thing like eBay, and you guys have got 2 stores, so you're putting all your energy into that. And
it is hard to kind of focus on other things when you're not really doing them, and then you have to kind of
it is difficult. You do have to, because even if you just look at one store, and we're talking about whether you should specialize or not. I think where specializing can be good is it helps you focus, because otherwise there's so many ways of making money that, like, where do you start? You'd be stopping at every stall and buying from every stall otherwise.
Yeah, hello.
Because
it's a real issue, because where do you draw that line? And we said not that long ago, I certainly said, I was interested. You said your average selling price was £50. I mean, ours would be like, a quarter of that on that. And I wanted to change that, but I can see profit in so many items, and I pick them up. But it's difficult, because the lower stuff, I think I did a little video just showing what went out one day last week, and it was all fairly low stuff, from sort of £5 to £25, but we still had a good day. But it was all fast moving, low value stuff, and it was like, if I didn't have that stuff in my store, I'd have done nothing. So it's like I find it hard to draw myself away from that and just do less higher value stuff.
I think, like I said, again, for us, it comes down to the fact that we're much more aware that we're paying for space now.
Yeah.
And I think that's
and then that makes us really picky about what we pick up.
Yeah. Like, because I mean, like, you might not have lots of sales, but if the value is good, I mean, like, we sold, I think we sold like a hi-fi we bought for £15 for the car boot. That's over 180. We've sold camcorder with it was like a tenner to 60, that kind of thing. It's like you can, it's just, you might not sell every day, but it's enough to to do well. I mean, I think George Ross, who might be in the chat, I don't know, he tends to go for that kind of a situation as well, where he's always got those big juicy items as well, and
less selling, less
balance. Yeah, it is a balance, but the thing is, we feel like we've got enough slow moving stuff.
That's the thing. That's why with the 2 stores having it kind of, it gives us that. We've got the slow stuff. We've got the stuff that kind of sells day to day.
We sell something on the RC store every day. Like, without fail, we're going to sell a few. At least we get like 3 orders minimum. But the thing is, those 3 orders could be as little as like £8. So you've only had a £20 day, and you can't have that. And that's why we've got the general store.
Yeah.
So,
but had we just had the general store, then we'd have to be like pick up,
the little
way
items
more
as well
than we do.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It's like just making it work somehow.
Constant,
Someone asked Luke a quick question with a quick answer. Question: do you have to pay VAT like a normal business? If you pass that threshold, yes. And Debbie says, Howard Jones is still performing? Question mark. Yes, he is.
Good.
Yeah, he's a consummate professional. He's very good. Somebody asking, what could we recommend the best label printer for Royal Mail 6x4 labels? I can only recommend what I have, which I love, which is a Zebra GK420D. Which is that what you picked up to here?
Yeah, I bought the same one.
Yeah, it's built like a tank. I love it. But there are other probably cheaper options. But I would recommend this. It's just does the job. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we can touch. How long have we been going? Oh, it's 10 to. Okay.
So it does sound like you've got other sort of plans of, doing something aside from eBay.
Not sure what though.
Yeah. Do you know what? I keep saying this to Zaheer all the time. We need to sit down and come up with more of a plan than just muddling through, because this is not, this is not going to move us forward where we want to be.
Yeah.
We have an idea of what we want to do and where we want to head, but it's about the bits in between where we're like, well, how do we get to that? So we kind of got a bit of an idea, but not
Yeah,
sounds intriguing.
What? Just it's not. There's nothing to be intrigued about because we don't know yet.
I was going to say we'll all watch with interest.
Yeah, definitely. James Thailand Heron was saying to Anthony about the limits, his listing limits. He says keep phoning eBay every day and speak to different people until you get a different answer. So maybe take that advice. Don't know. Let's see if there's another question we can tackle.
By the way, look at Alf now.
Oh,
It's decided that this is belly rub time.
Belly rub time.
that's for life, isn't it?
Yeah. He's got it sorted. Professional Fortnite player is his second job. Yeah, there you go. Deal City knows.
I commented on your vlog actually, Bec, that in the background at one point you could hear Zaheer shouting something about what was it I put?
I know what he said.
What did I say?
Anyway, I won't repeat it.
No, you can't repeat it. Don't repeat it.
I thought you were careful with your vlogs.
Were you playing Fortnite at that point?
Yeah.
And you were just carrying on, ever the professional here in the background.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Tokariro says, I meant on the eBay scanner. Do you scan and then refine it to sold items, or just go with your mojo when sourcing?
All right.
Yeah, eBay, I will go into completeds and then solds.
Yeah.
To find out what's actually sold and the range of prices and stuff to give me an idea.
Yeah, I do.
But don't always think that's gospel. I've sold things recently for way beyond the going rate because I've come up with better keywords or I've just done international shipping. So you can always push it further.
And if you've got a business account, now you've got access to Terapeak, which is really useful as well.
We really haven't started using that.
Used it. Have you done a video on that, didn't you, or not?
Yeah, you can just go to the website and log in with your eBay details now, and it will log you in, and you can just start using it straight away.
That's giving you sales history, a more advanced sales history.
Well, it'll give you, it'll come up with like a year's worth. It will tell you how often something sells, and I mean, I think it's more designed for people that are going to be selling like a lot of new stuff that there's competition with. So it's good for that, but also it's good for just research for anything really, because sometimes you only get like, I think, is it 3 months of sales? So if you might find something in the charity shop or the car boot and be like, oh, I'm not sure because I can't see one sold. I don't know what to sell it for. One might have sold 5 months ago for really good money and you won't know. But if you go to Terapeak, you can search, it will come up with that.
Yeah. I do need to sit down and have a play around and maybe make a video about what we can use it for if I'm going to use it. Okay.
I think Sorex has a question there. What's the smallest profit margin you'll take? We've got items that we sell for as little as like $3.99.
Yeah.
But that's because we got like loads of them and they don't owe us anything. Yeah. So we pay like.
Well, in the UK we do like free shipping.
Yeah.
On the RC parts. On most of them, I think.
Yeah. So we pay the shipping out of it, which is normally like 80p or something.
Internationally, we do charge.
So really, it depends what you've put into it, I suppose.
Yeah. Sussex Hidden Gems Reseller has asked me, how do you join Seller Ladies Live? So basically, we're on most Fridays at 1 o'clock, and it goes on different channels. So I think it might be on Heather's channel this Friday. I might be wrong with that, but I think it is. And just join, just keep an eye on the different people that take part, and normally subscribe to their channels, and then you'll see when it comes up. You'll get a notification and see whose channel it's on.
Or check in the chat. There's normally a link.
And then you can just join in on the chat as you are here. So,
but it rotates around channels, so it's not always on here, for example. So okay. Shall we see if there's anything else?
Karen's got a question for Z. When are you going to teach me more about RC parts? Still want Still need to know what a diff is.
No one wants to know any more about that stuff. Everyone's bored to death with it. So
we've stopped talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought I'd ask kind of a big question, really. Going back 5 years, could you have imagined being where you are now? And if you had to go back, would you do things differently? Would you still move up north? Do you ever look back and question all your decisions?
We question them a lot.
We question them all the time, all the time.
There's nothing wrong with, like we always said, like it's not like we were in a great situation when we hadn't had the seed planted in our mind. Like it's all Nick's fault, as we all know. Like because up until then, we, like most people, we were just working really hard, but still struggling to make ends meet. So we, in a way, it made it easy to think, well, we can still struggle to make ends meet, but do it on our own terms. So going down the route of self-employment, working for ourselves, and trying to build a business, even though you're back full-time, we don't regret that. I would say. The move up north, we never would have imagined.
No.
Do we regret it? I don't think so.
I don't think we regret it.
There are times
we miss family. Absolutely miss family. It does get to a point where it's really, really hard because we do miss family when we're up here. And
I think one thing we wish we'd done differently is recognize that you have to adapt to where you are. Like what works for us down in London didn't work for us up here.
No.
I think that's what caught us down.
Massively
changed. I mean, just for example, just look at these last couple of weeks. The fact that we've not had a car boot for 2 weeks, and then the one we've gone to has been a complete washout. That wouldn't happen down south. There was always somewhere you could go. And it was just different, and so you've got to look at your geography. And I suppose the bottom line is it does rain a bit more up here. It just does, and that's going to affect if you rely, if you're relying on your car boots for a lot of your stock. You've got to take that into account, and we just didn't. We thought, oh no, it's got to be all the same. But yeah, overall, we couldn't imagine what's happened, really.
And I think I speak for a lot of people that it's been fascinating watching you guys adapt and learn and grow, and have all of the troubles in between, and then the high points and the low points. And I mean, we can identify with all of that, and I'm sure many people that follow your channel do as well. And it's it's testament to both of you that you share the good stuff, the bad stuff, and everything in between.
It's always, the thing is, it always helps to have like people to look at and to see their journeys. So it's always nice that we get to share that, because it gives us like that kind of, I suppose, it's nice when people are supportive of it, because like when you guys are supportive of it, it's like, okay, at least we're, we've got people that they don't think we're complete idiots. At least we're trying something. But at the same time, it's nice to then look at people that are in different stages. So for example, we look at you guys and think that is a great place to be, and that it's achievable, and so you kind of can take something from different people, I suppose, as well.
Absolutely.
And it's a really good community as well. So whenever you're struggling with something or feeling a bit down anytime, there's always someone to kind of lift your spirits a bit.
Well, there's someone that might have been there and done it, experienced it, that you can go and rant to.
Or just reaches out to you if you're
So I think that's important. I've got to say, like, that's one thing I'm probably missing a bit. Definitely. I mean, Josh Law just said something here in Northern Ireland. We have very few car boots. I'd be lucky to get to 2 or 3 maximum in a month. So yes.
Before we wrap this up, I just want to say hi to Gemma in the chat. Says, hi Nick and Andrea, it was a pleasure to meet you yesterday. We hope you had some fun at the charity shops in Worthing. Now, we were down on the south coast. We were actually looking at universities for Ellen in Brighton and Worthing. We stayed with my sister in Worthing, and we went out, as we do. Oh, there's a charity shop. We popped in a few. And then Gemma came up to me and goes, are you Nick? Are you Nick Hills? I'm like, yes, I am. And we had a lovely chat with her and her partner, and they'd just found a flat Eric, which was awesome.
Oh, cool.
And Yeah, it was really nice to meet you, and
it was really good
quite
to
a
meet
surprise. But yeah, it's great.
Is that why it's hashtag Flat Eric couple? Okay.
Oh, it does say that at the end. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, well, I think we'll wrap this up. We've been on for an hour. We've had a good catch up. That was fantastic. We should do this more often. And as I've said before, Zaheer and Bec have a channel, or Bec has a separate channel as well now. I will put links to those below. But if you search Zaheer Malik, the main channel will come up.
Yeah, and
anyway.
I think George did post the link in the chat as well.
Fabulous. And thank you for your questions. Hopefully we touched on a few of those.
Yeah, sorry that we didn't get around to answering all the questions that came through.
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it? Sorry, it's amazing. It's just like
yeah, it's hard to keep up with. We will be back next Sunday, I presume, with more tap.
Alexa Z has gorgeous hair.
Oh. Thank you, Lex. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So yeah, we'll see you next week. I don't know if we have something planned for Thursday.
Not yet. We need to cajole someone into joining us.
Cajole someone. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you.
On Thursday, wouldn't we? But it's just it can't ever make the Thursdays happen.
So. Yeah. It's tricky with timing now.
Thanks for having us on the Sunday.
It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it. And thanks for joining us live. If you're watching this after the fact, please drop us a comment below, say hello, let us know what you thought, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Okay, have a great week, everyone.
Bye.